Oh my god, today is the best Friday ever. Only because the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer came out. Obviously, you can tell by the title. It is Friday, which is also like the day it came out. I watched this trailer in the morning, Friday morning. I was like really tired that day. I wasn't gonna stay up until 12 in the morning or however long it took that trailer to come out. I wasn't gonna wait. I was like so tired, so I was like, forget it. I'll just watch it in the morning, like first thing in the morning. And luckily I did, and my god, I've never been so hyped for a Spider-Man movie since this one right here, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Oh, I love that movie so much still. So, right, this is gonna be an Easter egg video. I'm gonna be like discussing some things that I like found out about the movie. I don't know much, so I'll do more research on that soon. This is just gonna be like a few things that like this is my knowledge about the movie to you guys. I'm gonna play the trailer in my face. You guys aren't gonna see it, but like I'm just gonna like play it with no sound because I don't want to get copyrighted and all that stupid crap. So yeah, I'm just gonna watch the trailer so I don't forget anything. Because then usually when I stop recording and I'm like uploading the video, I'll be like, wait, I didn't talk about this, and that gets super annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna just play the trailer right here, and then as the trailer goes, I'm gonna discuss. So yeah, let's get right into the trailer. Okay, so we got a cool shot of Queens, and we see a Chitauri. We see these robbers with Avengers masks, and they are, they're robbing a bank, like an ATM, and they have this Chitauri tech, and so this plays in with one of the villains in the movie, which is the Tinker, something like that. I do not know much about him. Like I found out who the Tinker was when they announced this movie, and they were like naming out people, like naming out the cast of people. Like this was like when the movie was still filming. Like that's who I found out. I never heard of the Tinkerer before they announced this movie. Like I didn't know who he was, and I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Like man, like I grew up with it. Like Spider-Man, like I'm Spider-Man everything. Like I used to like when I was younger. I used to freaking dress up as Spider-Man and like watch the Tobey Maguire original movies and like copy all the action scenes. I would look so stupid. I mean, I would look really stupid if I did it now, but like I was a kid, so it was just kind of. I guess I was weird. Okay, I was a weird kid. So yeah. Anyways, back to the Tinker. He's all good with tech and stuff like that, and I'm gonna discuss more about him after I play the trailer and after because I kind of have a theory of how this movie's gonna play out. So yeah, we get them putting the money in the bag obviously, and this is like I just love the comedy and the humor of this trailer. Like they're over there just doing their thing, and all of a sudden you just see Spider-Man in the background just watching them put the money in there. He's just like waiting for them to like turn around. And that action scene, right when he's like, he's like, "Hey guys, you aren't the real Avengers." He's like, "I can tell because Hulk gives it away," and I was just laughing so hard. And one of my favorite parts is when like Thor takes a swing at him. I mean, it's not obviously the real Thor, but he swings at him and he grabs his punch and just like makes him punch Thor. I mean, he makes him punch Hulk, and that was just so funny. And my favorite one is when he jumps on the roof and like he just starts dodging all those punches. I'm like, dang man! Like I just love when they use the spider senses, like in the like during the action. Like I mean, obviously they don't put the sound in the middle of the sound effect. Like that he's using it, but like I just like how the spider senses play in with like the action and all that crap. So yeah, that whole scene was just really awesome. Oh, excuse me. And I just love the fact how he's a kid. Like, I just love that so much about this trailer and, like, this movie. Like, they got Tom Holland. Like, I did love Amazing Spider-Man. I did like Spider-Man. But I look back at it and I'm like, these guys are, like, in their, like, late 20s, early 30s. Like, they're, like, 30-something playing a high school teenager. And we finally get a kid, who was a teenager. And, okay, yeah, he's 20 now. Okay, but when they were filming Civil War, he wasn't 20. He was still a teenager. So he technically counts as a teenager. And he looks like he looks like he belongs in a high school. Like literally, if I saw him on campus on my school and I didn't know who Tom Holland was and he wasn't a big actor, I wouldn't look at him and be like, "Oh my god, that's like he looks like a freaking adult." And if I saw Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield walking in my school, I'd be like, what are these guys doing here? Like, are they students? Are they seniors? Like, are they like getting held back? Like, what the heck? Like, I still love their Spider-Man. I'm just saying, like, that's like Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like he's a kid. I see him as a kid, and that's why we all love Spider-Man because he's a kid and we can relate to him. So that's one thing I love about Tom Holland Spider-Man. And this is legit high school right here. This part where he's in the locker and he's staring at that girl, like with his friend. Like I don't know. Like it's just I saw that part. I'm just like they're getting this whole high school thing right. Because like when like some like movies like they'll get like the high school thing, like they'll try and nail the high school dynamic, and it's just kind of weird. Like it's just like no, that's not how it's really like, you know. That's not how high school is. Like I feel like this movie they're gonna get it right, and the director of the movie, I forgot what his name was, but he has a history of making comedy movies, and I've heard like I've heard good things about him, so I think he was a good choice to direct this movie, and I can just tell like the humor in this movie is gonna be really great. And then they're talking about the girl. He's like, "Oh, is she wearing a new top?" No, no, no. We've seen that before. She has a new skirt. And I'm like, "Oh, we should stop looking before it looks weird." And then we see Zendaya right there next to them, and she's like, "Oh, it's too late. You guys are losers." And I'm like, "That's weird," because I thought she was gonna play MJ, but I guess she's playing Michelle. And in the comics, Michelle is this I think undercover cop or something like that. And I think she was a love interest for Spider-Man. You guys go ahead and correct me in the comment section below because I don't remember what it was. This is what I've heard. It was something like that, but maybe she's an undercover cop. Who knows? Maybe what is she doing there? But and I wanted to discuss this whole Mary Jane thing. I don't look you people who don't like the idea of Mary Jane being black. Okay, so what? Okay, like I know she was white in the comics, but like I just don't see the huge deal. Like, oh my god, like why is not Spider-Man? Why is Mary Jane black? I mean, I know she's not Mary Jane right now. She's Michelle. But even if she was, like, what's the big problem? Like, I don't see the huge problem. Sure, I mean, she's not white, and like, it's not accurate to the comics. But so what? I mean, at least like, she is still the character. I mean, like, if it was like, if you did this huge change with like this really iconic character, then I'd understand why, like, why you wouldn't like it. But all they're doing is just changing her race, like, like there's really nothing, wrong with that. Like, so I don't see the big problem. People who think that it's a dumb idea, they're really stupid for that, because I don't see the really big deal about it. So, anyways, sorry about my rant on racism and all that stuff. My bad. I'm sorry. This is a Spider-Man Homecoming trailer review, so let's get back to it. After that scene, we get Tony Stark, and I didn't think he was gonna show up in this trailer because I knew he was gonna be in this movie. I just didn't think he was gonna like show up a lot. But I think he's gonna be he's gonna have a supporting role in this movie. He's just gonna be, like, he's gonna be his father figure. He's gonna be like, oh, here's some new upgrades on your suit, and like, here's some life lessons or something like that. Like, he's gonna be like his, father figure or his mentor or something like that. And this scene is so hilarious, like how he's just like, don't do anything that I would do, but don't do anything I would do. There's this gray area, and that little area, that's where you operate. Like, he's just like, it's just so funny, like, because I don't know, like, the way, like, if I delivered those lines in a movie, that wouldn't be funny. It's just how he does it, okay? How Robert Downey Jr. does it is so hilarious. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you just watch it, like, if you explain it, it's not as funny. But once you watch, like, if you watch it, it's really funny. Like, that's what makes Robert Downey Jr. such a great actor. The dude's amazing, and he's really inspiring. His story is like super inspiring. So yeah, I like really look up to him. So yeah, then you also, after that scene, you get him like about I don't know, this scene I kind of found it weird. Like, it was funny, but you think about it, he like opens the door for Peter, and Peter goes for a hug because he thought it was like, Iron Man was giving him a hug. But it's like, why are you opening the door? Like, I've never in my life have I sat down with somebody and then go across their side and open the door for them. Like, it's just like, what? I mean, the scene's funny because he's like, oh no, I'm not going for it, I'm just opening the door for you. He's like, take care. Like, that's funny. Okay, but like, think about it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like, if that's a thing, but like me, I've never ever done that. I've never opened the door for somebody when they're on the other side. So it's just weird, but that scene was really funny. I found it, just Tony Stark, the greatest man ever. He is the MCU. They can't do anything without him. Hold on, let me just skip. Okay, so there are some Easter eggs. There is one part where you see Peter walking in school, and if you look closely behind, there's these like paintings. I don't know if it's a painting or like posters. Like pretty sure they're paintings on the walls, and you get like these like people on like from history and stuff like that, like famous people and stuff like that. And one of like the pictures is Howard Stark, and for those of you who don't know who Howard Stark is, that's Tony Stark's father. And if you guys seen Civil War, then you obviously know who he is. That was really sad, but yeah. So you get I want to see how he's super. I mean, I know he's famous for like the tech that he's all done and stuff like that. I just want to see if they talk about him more. And so yeah, you get a shot of Peter walking around in class, and I love this scene right here. This was me in 7th grade, and during tutoring, we were supposed to be doing homework, and I look back and I'm like, dang, I should have been doing my homework. But I was just looking at the Age of Ultron trailers the entire time on the computer, and Spider-Man's over here just looking at him like fight Ant-Man, like Giant Man when he's swinging around his legs. And I just, like, it's just so funny, and I feel bad because he's in class, he's like going crazy over the fact that he is Spider-Man, and like he can't tell anybody. Though number one, he only has like one friend, and he still can't tell him. But like like if I was Spider-Man, I couldn't help but tell like at least a few people. Okay, like I would tell like I would not just keep it to myself. Like I would be like, yo, no lie, I'm Spider-Man. And my friend would be like, no, you're not Spider-Man. I'll be like, bro, I'm Spider-Man. I'll just be like, I'll just unzip. I'll like kind of pull down my shirt, and then you just see the Spider-Man suit under it. And I'll be like, stop lying, that's just a little costume. Shoot a little web. I'm really stupid, I know, but man, like you just have no clue. Like like I think about it, and you can think about it yourself, and it's just like if you were Spider-Man, you know damn well you would like tell a bunch of people. Like, you wouldn't just keep it to yourself, and like he's struggling with that, and obviously he's in the middle of class. Teacher's like, are you still with us? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. So also in that scene when they show the teacher, if you look closely in the back, I don't know if you guys had this in 1st grade, but like we had like the like these posters. It's like really long poster that goes like over the board or somewhere on the wall, and it has all the presidents, but except it's like famous like scientists or something like that. And the very last one is Bruce Banner. For those of you who know who Bruce Banner is, that is the Hulk. So that is really cool. I think he's in that list because he's famous for the gamma rays, which cause him to be Hulk and all that stuff. All that stuff. If you guys watch the Hulk, you know what I mean. So maybe that's what it plays into, the movie. Like that's why that's what he's famous for. So yeah, that I thought that was really cool how they included him. I actually had to read the comments. Like I read the comments and people were like, "Oh, am I the only person who found Howard Stark and Bruce Banner in the background?" I was like, "Where?" And then I saw like a few trailer reviews and people mentioned it. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice it. See, like when it comes like before I had to do a trailer review, I have to watch videos on other reviews because I would miss so many things. Like I'm like really dumb. Like I won't notice. Like I'll probably be dumb enough to be like, hey, look, that's Mark 33. That actually is Mark 33. But like, hey, that's that Iron Man suit that was in that one comic where something happens, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that is. Like I can't just like go off like watch the trailer, sit down and just talk about a bunch of crap and then not list anything that I actually knew I just didn't notice. So like that's how I am. But yeah, so this next scene, we get freaking Spider-Man, a building explosion, and he walks up into it. And I don't know what's the whole point of that scene. He just runs up, and then like it cuts to the next scene. And this next scene, I love. It shows. Okay, so I don't know if this is his friend's room or this is Spider-Man's room. It kind of looks different to his room from Civil War, or it kind of looks the same. I don't remember if he had a window near. I think this is Spider-Man's room, but we don't know. And the reason why I think it's Spider-Man's room is because we have some Star Wars stuff. If you look closely, he's crawling on the wall. If you look at a shelf right next to him, he has an AT-AT or AT-AT, whatever you Star Wars fans call the AT-ATs. I call it AT-ATs. So if you got a problem with it, you're just going to have to deal with it. Alright? You can go to hell. So, yeah. There's an AT-AT action figure right there. And I thought that was pretty cool because they made a reference on Civil War where Spider-Man was swinging around Ant-Man. He's like, you know that really old movie Empire Strikes Back? And the War Machine's just like, who the heck? What is he talking about? So like, I just love how when they add references to like things like especially Star Wars. Star Wars references are the best. And it's really embarrassing when you make a Star Wars reference around people that don't know Star Wars and they don't get the reference. No, that doesn't happen to you. Okay, just wanted to know. Anyway, so the next scene is his friend. He like catches him crawling on the wall, and like he doesn't have the mask on, so he freaks out and he drops a Lego. And I had to watch it a few times. It was actually the Lego Death Star. And for those of you who don't know, that Lego Death Star is like $400. So I feel really bad for the person who had to build that, because that thing does I've heard that thing takes like 2 weeks to build, maybe more. Now, that's how much I've heard. Like I've heard it makes like I can't speak English today. I've heard that it takes like a very long time to build that. So I feel bad for the person who had to waste their time building that thing, and then they just have to like use it for one scene and they have to drop it. Like if they assign me for that job, I would be like, no. Unless I'm getting paid a good amount of money, then yeah, okay. But like it's just like, really, just put me in the movie and then I'll be happy. But like that kind of sucks. You're spending your whole time building the freaking thing, and trust me, building Legos. Okay, building like when I was a kid, building like 500, like 400 piece Legos was a pain and like in my ass. Like just imagine building over 1,000 pieces and it's about this big. And then, like, just imagine that. That'd be, like, terrible trying to build. So, yeah, I'd be really mad if, like, I built that thing and then they just break it when they finally use it for the movie. How long is this review taking? Holy shizness. Okay, so let's hurry up. So, the rest of the trailer, I like how Spider-Man's suit is, like, instead of having it be spandex, it's like a button that he pushes in the middle on his chest, and like it like kind of expands because like it kind of looks hard to put on spandex. So I like how he just pushes the button and it expands, and he can take it off and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool. Then the next scene we see Spider-Man crawl through, like he crashes through a window and he slides on the floor. And my friend Marcos, it's just every time all day today I was showing people the trailer. And he was there, and every time he watches the trailer with somebody else, he'll be like, yeah, like, oh, the glass just went up his butthole or something like that. I'm like, no shit, Marcos, thanks. It was just really funny, and it's true because he freaking slides on that glass. Just imagine. But that thing has to be knife resistant, so maybe that didn't do anything. So how, Marcos? Get out of here with your logic. Chinese middle finger. Okay, so next scene. We get Spider-Man look at the camera, and then he sees Vulture. You see just Vulture coming down from the sky. Now here's where the trailer review gets good. So you see Vulture, and you see him for the first time. Now I love how he looks. Okay, I'm glad that they didn't go with some kind of this crappy spandex suit that has feathers on the side, and it's some kind of cloth that makes you fly. He's bald and he looks really old. If you look closely, if you guys want a closer look of his suit, Hasbro, they're a toy company. They make Marvel Legends and I collect those, and they released an exclusive photo of their figure for it. By the way, it looks awesome. I cannot wait for that figure to come out. So you get a closer look of how it looks, and it looks really cool. So I feel like I'm the only person who noticed, but if you look closely at the suit, he's wearing those kind of 70s pilot jackets, how the pilots, they used to have that brown coat and it had the feathers on the side, and then they would wear the helmet. I don't know what era they wore that. I'm just assuming it was the 70s. Okay, just correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, but yeah, he has that, and he has the helmet, and he has a pilot, a jet pilot, whatever you want to call it. He has those helmets, and they have those little beady green eyes coming out, and this kind of I'd be kind of scared. Especially the wings, they're not just Falcon's wings, where it's just his wings, his arm span, and then there's it's about this long. I'm talking about it looks like they attached a freaking plane on his back. Okay, I didn't like it at first, but then I I saw it more and more, and I got used to it. I'm I kind of like it. you know, because it makes him really look like OP. And if it was like Falcon like size, like it wouldn't like be like, you know, because just I don't know, like it would just make it too easy for Spider-Man. Even though Spider-Man like barely lasted with Falcon, still though, like, you know, it was just better that they went with like a bigger wings and stuff like that. So I love the Falcon suit. I think it looks really cool. And the rest of the trailer is just straight out action. So we get a few shots where Spider-Man has his old costume. If you see in Civil War, he has like this some kind of like jacket, and it's like a hoodie and a mask and like some like his homemade Spider-Man suit. And you see it like you see it for like a few seconds in Civil War. So how I think this movie plays out is it starts off before Civil War, and it's Spider-Man. You know, he's doing his Spider-Man things. This is like before he met Tony Stark, and he meets Vulture for the first time. That's when you first see him. And I heard something. I heard an interview by from Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. He said the very first time that you see Vulture, it's like really terrifying, and it's like a scary movie. And so there's a scene where you see Vulture at night somewhere outside, and you know it looks more scarier when he's at night. So I thought maybe that's the first time when you see him, and you see Spider-Man getting like he looks like he just he took like an ass whooping. Like he has like blood on his face. He's like on the floor, like all messed up, and he doesn't have his Civil War suit. He has like the really crappy suit. So I think their first encounter is when the creepy Falcon comes, and you know he fights him for the first time. Then Civil War happens. He has his new suit, and that's when he does his Spider-Man mannerisms, and he goes and does his thing, and then we get another encounter with Vulture. And so yeah, I think that's how it's gonna play out. And then that's when the Tinker comes in and the Shocker, and you do see the Shocker a little bit. And I think the Shocker gets his like gloves from like from the Tinker. And I'm really happy that Shocker is in this movie because I'm not a 90s kid, obviously. I'm like 14, so I obviously didn't grow up in the 90s. But I did grow up watching the 90s Spider-Man cartoon series, and Shocker was in there a lot. And I always thought it would be cool if they had Shocker as a side villain, and that's what they're doing in this movie. So I'm like, yes, that's gonna be so awesome. So I'm really happy about that. And the last shot of this trailer, the first last shot, which is like the Spider-Man holding the boat together. I'm like, Spider-Man, you could have saved the Titanic. What were you doing at that time? Come on, you're saving a freaking Disney cruise. Now you're over here, and you could have actually saved the freaking Titanic. Come on, man. But that scene was really cool, and I think it was like a little nod to like the original Spider-Man movies when they when Peter Parker and Spider-Man 2 was like holding the train and like trying to make the train stop and all that stuff and making that really weird diarrhea face. So yeah, that scene was really cool. I love the effects in this movie, by the way. Like I think it looks real. Okay, like I just like all this stuff, and like it's very practical, and like my God, I love Spider-Man's suit. You guys seen where Tony Tony Stark is talking about Falcon? He's like, okay, you worry about the bank robbers, okay? You know, just don't worry about it. And then Spider-Man's like, oh my God, I'm sick and tired of him treating me like a kid. He sees a chance to like fight Falcon, and he's gonna use that chance to like, you know, I think he's gonna use that chance to prove to Iron Man that he's an Avenger, because in the international trailer, that car scene, he's like, how do I become an Avenger? Is there like an interview or like some kind of practice thing? And then that's when he's like, just don't do anything that I would do, but don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Like that's when that scene happens. So yeah. And then the very, very last shot was when you see Spider-Man and Iron Man fly into the camera, which I didn't notice the first time. Like, I saw only Spider-Man, and then I saw the international trailer, and then I saw Iron Man. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice Iron Man the first time. So that was cool. So yeah, this trailer review was all over the place. I am so sorry, and I'm sorry that this was like the longest trailer review you guys have ever seen. Probably the most boring. I apologize for that. So anyways, guys, that is it for my trailer review. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up for Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And go ahead and leave a thumbs up to Tom Holland Spider-Man, which I do not have anything to point at for Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm actually supposed to be getting the Marvel Legends Tom Holland Spider-Man soon. So yeah, I can't wait for that. But this guy, I grew up with this guy, okay? I remember getting him for the first time. I was like at a mall. I was like 4. And that's when, or I don't remember how old I was, but this was like when Spider-Man 2 came out. So yeah, this guy's pretty old. So I'm happy that he's doing well. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the trailer review. And I hope you guys enjoyed that trailer because, man, that was an amazing trailer. And so, yeah. Oh, by the way, I knew I missed one thing. I knew I was missing one more thing. The wingspan, the little glider things on his suit. Yeah. I remembered. That was some really cool stuff. I'm so happy that they got that from the comics. And it's kind of an advantage for him because Vulture can fly. You know, he like spreads it. He's like gliding around. So yeah, that's gonna be really cool. And now this is when the video ends. Goodbye, people. I hope you enjoy the rest of your lives. I'm really tired, so I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm sorry. Goodbye, guys. Love y'all, and stay toxic, everyone. Get it? I got you.